Okay. Things are starting to heat up in wrestling, and not just WWE apparently. While we can talk about WWE, I'm really glad that Lyra Valkyria is the one who won the Intercontinental title. The first one, she pulled a Finn Balor, and she is the inaugural champion, the first to win the Intercontinental title. And I feel that this was the perfect choice. Lyra Valkyria is fresh talent for a fresh belt, the Intercontinental title, and she got the moves to defend the belt properly because it's look, when you got the Intercontinental belt, you got to put on a show, like the Miz, like Gunther did, like hopefully Sheamus does before he retires. But when you got the Intercontinental belt, you gotta show out. So now that Lyra Valkyria has the belt, she got to show out. She got to represent. And I got faith that Lyra can do it. I didn't have faith that Dakota Kai can do it. I didn't have faith that she could do it. But let's see. What else? Xavier Woods and Kofi Kingston, they still doing a good job. And Xavier Woods has been telling truth after truth after truth. He's doing online what Drew McIntyre is doing on live shows. And speaking of live shows, Raw is is supposed to be for 2 hours, but for some reason it keeps going a little bit past 2 hours, and the first one was like 3 hours and some minutes. This last Raw was like, I don't know, 2 hours 20 minutes, and I'm perfectly fine with it too. I don't care what nobody say. That's still the A show. It's still the A show. So if it want to go a little bit past 2 hours, I'm perfectly fine with it. I don't know why I can't just stay going 3 hours. I'd like that. But it's whatever. It's whatever. But yeah, Lyra Valkyria got the Intercontinental title. Xavier Woods and Kofi Kingston stay exposing the crowd, and I'm happy about that. Drew McIntyre, fingers crossed, goes back to being deadly Drew McIntyre. Like Monster Hunter, we kicking folks' heads off, asking no question, it's on site type of Drew McIntyre. Now, you ain't got to call him the Terminator or nothing like that, but I hope he goes back to those Terminator ways, those monster hunting ways that he's been doing. That would be great. To me, that was Drew McIntyre at his most exciting. When he stopped asking any questions, he stopped asking permission, he just went right straight on to attacking folks who was in his way. I like that. That's the best Drew. That was the most exciting Drew, and I hope he goes back to that. So, the big news. The big news that I got today. The WWE are about to start doing shows with TNA slash, Impact, whatever it's calling itself nowadays. Point is, the show that gave us AJ Styles, they starting to do a couple shows. The first one being the aptly named Genesis. They about to do a show called Genesis, and they're going to partner up with WWE, and they're going to start doing that. They got a multi-event deal going on, and I'm so happy. Oh my goodness. I get so happy every time I see Jordan Grace show up in a Royal Rumble, and we all just like, what is this other company's champion doing here? I know NXT happy to see it. That's who they partnering with. TNA slash Impact is partnering with NXT, and hey, they getting the freshest talent possible in NXT, and TNA is gonna do shows with them, and I'm so happy about it too. It's so many possibilities that could stem from that. We get to have what I'm hoping would happen is WWE visits TNA more often, and TNA visits WWE more often. That way, they could feed off one another and hopefully lift TNA Impact to at least a close vicinity of where WWE is. Because I like TNA, I like Impact. Now, I know it's controversial. I know she's a controversial girl, but I like this girl. Now, we know what Hulk Hogan was doing. Okay, that's on film. What Hulk Hogan was doing, that's on film. We got proof of what he was doing. But as for the Diamond, as for Tessa Blanchard, we only got hearsay. I only heard what she may or may not have said. So I'm still cheering Tessa Blanchard. And I'm glad she back because that's an exciting girl. That's like it's like brunette Charlotte. And she won the men's title at TNA. I mean, how cool is that? That match, that series of matches between her and who I also hope comes over to WWE, TNA's version of John Moxley from AEW, Sammy Callahan. Okay, that series she had going with Sammy Callahan, that was great. I enjoyed every bit of it. It was so funny, and she won. She won the belt. That was funny. But the Death Machine, I hope he comes over to WWE, and I especially hope he comes over to WWE now that freaking freaking Penta is here, and that's another thing. Penta is here. I didn't know that was his family in the crowd. I was wondering who that little girl was that was crying. And I was like, dang, at the start of the show, at the start of him coming out to the ring, that chick was on her phone crying. I'm like, dang, you is really emotionally invested in Pentagon. I'm like, who is she? At the end of the show, she cried. Turns out that was his family. I didn't know that. I guess I got the answer now. But point is, now that Pentagon Jr. is here, I'm still with Sammy Callahan. You ruined everything, Penta. You ruined everything, and I hope Sammy Callahan comes over here and fights him. I am. I'm a big Sammy Callahan fan. I like Sammy Callahan. I like his group. I like his attitude. And have you seen that dude do a promo? That guy is great at promos. He's so over the top. He like he be cutting promos like Jacob does. Like Jacob Fatu be cutting promos. He be cutting promos just like that, in my own opinion. Some people may disagree, but I think he cuts promos just as good as Jacob Fatu does. So the possibility of having Tessa Blanchard come over, ugh, because of the controversy surrounding her, she might just get the Hulk Hogan treatment too. I don't know. I like her though. I like Tessa Blanchard. Everything surrounding her is hearsay. I don't know what's happening. So I still like her. The possibility of having Tessa Blanchard show up, I love that. The possibility of having Jordan Grace visit more often, that would be great. Abaddon, she might come over. Maybe. That'd be great. All the rest of the knockouts from Impact might they might get an in and they might can come over and visit WWE. I don't know. But Sammy Callahan coming over, that would be a dream right there. Having Sammy come over and everybody on the big stage, on the big show, the A show, in SmackDown and NXT even. they get exposed to that guy, oh, that would be good. And most importantly, ruin everything for Penta because I can't stand Pentagon Jr. and I want Sammy Callahan to ruin his day. But stuff is starting to look up for WWE. Ah, it's so good. It's great. It's getting exciting. It's getting real exciting. And I guess I'll be making more videos in the future about it. When I get more developments, I reckon I'll put out another video. But until then,